Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Today I want to talk about Mike Turner. He's a representative from Ohio who happens to be the House Intelligence Chairman. And he's been speaking out against basically UFO disclosure recently. I've seen him on different news outlets, like on Fox News. I've seen a segment on there talking to one of the anchors on there. Basically saying that he's seen nothing, there's no evidence, and blah blah blah. He doesn't think he finds David Grusch. He doesn't find David Grusch someone that he believes. He doesn't think that there's any way that the Pentagon could keep this a secret because there's thousands and thousands of people involved. I mean, he's basically saying all these things against moving forward on trying to get to the bottom of the UFO mystery, and basically I know what the reason is, and I'm going to point that reason out to everyone today. And there was an article here that was from yesterday, from August 1st, in Liberation Times, which I talk about all the time. Christopher Sharp writes all these really good articles focused on what's going on in Washington with regard to the UFO disclosure effort. And he had an article yesterday, and the headline reads, "Pressure Mounts on House Intelligence Chairman Following Dismissive and Baffling Approach to Credible and Urgent UFO Whistleblower Allegations." And here I'll read some of this article. It says, Representative Turner, the chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, finds himself under mounting pressure to account for his dismissive and baffling approach to serious allegations made by multiple highly cleared whistleblowers regarding rogue U.S. government programs related to unidentified anomalous phenomena. Commenting to Liberation Times, UAP whistleblower and former senior intelligence officer David Grusch, who last week testified under oath at a congressional hearing, said, "I personally briefed the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence's staff director at the time, its general counsel's and Congressman Turner's personal staffer. Congressman Turner has not followed up with me, and based on his public statements, it appears he has not asked for a briefing on my testimony or has failed to ask the intelligence community's Inspector General for more information. The absence of any meaningful follow-up by Representative Turner, particularly considering the gravity of Grusch's allegations involving covert programs with non-human materials with zero congressional oversight, raises considerable concerns about the representative's approach to this crucial matter." You know, let me just stop there for a minute. I wonder what the reason could be. Does anyone out there have any idea possibly what the reason could be? We're going to find out there pretty soon what the reason is. But anyway, the allegations made under oath were deemed credible and urgent by the intelligence community's Inspector General, adding further weight to the need for proper investigation and accountability. Despite a failure to follow up and investigate such claims, in a recent interview on Fox News, Representative Turner dismissively referred to whistleblower testimony, including that given by Grusch under oath at last week's congressional UAP hearing. And this is the quote that he said on Fox News, which really will boil your blood. Let me tell you, it will boil your blood. "I always love it when you have somebody who comes forward and testifies about things that they don't know anything about. I mean, the most striking aspect of all of the testimony was repeatedly, over and over again, the whistleblowers had to say, 'Actually, I don't have any knowledge of this. Somebody else told me that.' I mean, really, this would take thousands and thousands of people for such an unbelievable cover-up to be occurring, and for people to speak with such confidence over something that they do not know is something certainly everybody needs to be concerned about." Well, for one thing, now Grusch did talk to people, insiders, right, who told him things, but he was also presented with evidence. He was presented with, again, documentation. He was presented with photos. He was presented with videos. So there was some corroboration that went along with these discussions that he had with some of the people in the programs, working on these programs secretly. Continuing here, he actually says that. It says, Representative Turner's assessment fails to even reflect Grusch's testimony, where he implied having first-hand knowledge but was unable to provide further information unless shared in a secure location with congressional members possessing the appropriate clearances. Additionally, it fails to account for other whistleblowers directly involved in such programs who have now lodged complaints with the intelligence community's Inspector General. The representative for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base has previously been suggested, referenced within a media report which lists his affiliation with a defense contractor, as a politician too invested in defense contractors and as someone who represents the unhealthy intersection between Congress and the defense sector. Let me just stop there for a second, folks. In a second, you're going to find just how invested he really is with these defense contractors, right? You're going to find that out in 1 second here. And it continues here with the article. It says, given Representative Turner's serious responsibility as acting chair on the House Intelligence Committee, his baffling and blasé approach to such serious allegations, which may undermine the very principles of American democracy, is understood to have raised concerns among other congressional colleagues. In Liberation Times, Christopher Sharp indicated that he did try to contact his office, but there was not given any response. Well, let me just fill you in on something here, Christopher Sharp. When you do get a response from Mr. Mike Turner, you're going to find out whatever he says to you, it's going to be a lie, because there's no way he's going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to tell everyone the truth right now, what's going on with Representative Mike Turner. Okay, if you go to Open Secrets, it's a really good website, opensecrets.org. It tells you exactly what all these people in the Senate and the House are receiving with regard to campaign contributions. And if you go to Mike Turner and you click on PACs, right, it gives you a summary, it gives you all this stuff, and you click on PACs, Political Action Committees, just for the last, for the 22 years, right, he's received $581,400 in total PAC money, right? But if you scroll down, it breaks it all down for you. Look at, in defense, actually, from defense, he's received more money from the defense companies than he received from anywhere else, right? You click on the defense there, right? And you scroll down through that. Let's look at it, right? He's received from Defense Aerospace $54,000. And this is just from the 2021 and 2022 years. In Defense Electronics, he received $27,000 in campaign contributions, and in miscellaneous defense, he's received $73,400. So, and that, my friends, is a total of $154,400 just for 2021 to 2022. Okay, so and if you break it, this breaks it down even further. Okay, let's click on Defense Aerospace here. That's where he received $54,000 in campaign contributions. Okay, you scroll down through that. Who did he receive it from? Airbus Group, Boeing Company, Honeywell International, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Rolls-Royce, and Sierra Nevada Corp. Right? If you go back and you click to the Defense Electronics, who's giving him money from there? Okay. L3 Harris Technologies, Leonardo DRS, Raytheon Technologies, SAIC. Okay, Raytheon, by the way, gave him $10,000 in 2022. And if you go back and you look at the Defense Aerospace, I believe, Northrop Grumman gave him $10,000. Lockheed Martin gave him $10,000. Okay, so this is the reason. You're seeing the reason right now. Miscellaneous defense, $73,000 total. Who are the companies there? Look, I mean, these are all defense contracting companies, right? So that's where he's getting his money from, folks, and that's why he's against this. Okay, it's as simple as that. I mean, in this country, in the United States of America, the Supreme Court, as a lot of people know, made bribery basically legal. This is legalized bribery. Basically, a lot of the politicians that we have, they receive contributions for their campaigns, and then basically they could outspend any of the competition, and they get elected. And once they get elected, what do? They don't care about what the people. The people are just they're the targets. They're the dummies that just have to vote for them, because who else are you going to vote for, right? They'll get you worked up about other issues that really don't matter much, and then meanwhile they'll pick your pocket and give tax breaks and contracts to these companies. That's what's going on. But this guy, if you look at it, okay, and that's just in defense, okay, that's just for the 21-22 cycle, okay. So he received all that money. So it was what? Let's go back here again. Yeah, in defense, he received $154,400. But on this great website, Open Secrets, you can go back in time too and see what he made in prior cycles. Let's go back to 2020. Okay, this is the 2020 cycle. Okay, what did he get then from defense contractor? He's got $187,500. He got more money from defense contractors than anybody else. Way more. Okay, you go back. Let's go back again. Let's see how much money he's made in 2018 on Open Secrets here. Okay, let's go back to 2018. This is the 2017-2018 season. What did he get from defense then? He got $163,500. I mean, you see how this movie's going. Let's go all the way back to how far. It goes back to 2012. Let's see what he made back in 2012 from the political action committee from these defense contractors. Yeah, 124,000, right? 124,000. Now, so there's your answer. This is what's going on. Money speaks louder than words. I mean, this guy's really getting paid off basically to act like this. That's what's going on. Let's all be smart about this, right? That's what's going on, right? This guy's getting money. He's going to try to sink this whole effort because he's being told to by people who are paying for his campaigns. Look at all the money he's been getting from them. Okay, let's go. For instance, now let's go to someone like Representative Tim Burchett. Now, remember, Tim Burchett, he's someone that's been trying to push for disclosure. What's he received? What's he been getting? Okay, let's look under defense. He's only received for this the most recent cycle. He's only received $1,500 from defense. Right? That's all he's gotten. Let's look at Kevin McCarthy, the House Majority Leader. Okay, what has he received? He's received $74,500. Now, of course, that is a lot of money, but it's not nearly as much. It's basically only about half of what Turner's receiving. But of course, you would imagine that the defense contractors, they want to make sure that they keep the people that are in control of these, the majority leaders in both Senate and House, somewhat happy, right? So they got to throw them something, right? So, okay, Kevin McCarthy's getting $74,500. What about Senator Chuck Schumer, the majority leader in the Senate? What's he gotten in this season from the defense contractors? He's only received $44,500, okay, from them. So you see how this goes, folks. Okay, let's go back to Mike Turner again. Again, from the defense, he's received, and this is from this one, from 124. Okay, this was, we're back at 2011. Okay, hold on. For this cycle, he's received 154,400. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. And that's your explanation. There's no mystery here. Now the mainstream news, like Maria Bartiromo, right, who was interviewing Mike Turner, she's not going to bring that up because guess what? All these people are in on this whole scam, right? They're all in on this. They don't want to talk about this part. Right? They don't want to talk. I mean, because if you ever wonder when any of your Congress people or why they're voting certain ways and you don't understand it, just go to Open Secrets, right, and you'll probably figure it out pretty quick. So this is what's going on with Mike Turner, all right? Look at all the money he's been getting compared to these other people that we've been talking about, all right? Like, again, Tim Burchett's received a measly $1,500 from defense contractors for this season, for this cycle. But yet, this guy, Mike Turner, $154,400, and then he goes on Fox News and he makes comments like, let's go back and look at his comment now again. Now with the context in mind, right? Let's look at that comment again. I really love it when you have somebody who comes forward and testifies about things that they don't know anything about. I mean, the most striking aspect of all of the testimony was repeatedly, over and over again, the whistleblowers had to say, actually, I don't have any knowledge of this. Somebody else told me. I mean, really, this would take thousands and thousands of people for such an unbelievable cover-up to be occurring. Yeah. Okay, Mike. Yeah. Like, we don't see what's going on. We see what's going on, Mike. Get this bum out of there. What are you people in Ohio doing? Get this idiot out of there. Vote him out of office. If this is the kind of idiots we're going to have in there doing stuff like this against what the people want, get him out of there. Vote him out. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Again, you're not going to hear this kind of stuff from the network news. In fact, it wasn't even in this Liberation Times article, but it needs to be pointed out, right? I mean, let's be very forward here, right? I think we need to be very forward about this and upfront. Let's talk about the reality of things. Okay, this guy's receiving $154,000 basically from the defense contractors, right? As much as they could possibly give. Raytheon's giving them $10,000. Northrop Grumman's giving them $10,000. Lockheed Martin's giving them $10,000. It's right there in front of your face, folks. There's the reason. That's why when you have to understand, this is the reason why politicians do what they do. It's who's giving them the money. You always have to follow the money, and the money in this situation is having what's it doing? It's causing Mike Turner to show up on TV and make statements like this, saying, there's no way there could be a cover up with thousands and thousands of people. There's just no way. Yeah. I wonder who told him to say that. Who's he working for really here? Is he working for the people of the United States, or is he working for Northrop Grumman and Raytheon Technologies and Lockheed Martin? The people who basically are putting him in office, right? With these super PACs or whatever they are, PACs, Political Action Committee bucks. That's what's going on. Okay, let's all be clear here. Money, greed, power. That's what's going on, folks. So that's why, if you're wondering what Mike Turner's up to, now you know. Okay, end of story. Anyway, now that I got that out of my system, I've been waiting to say this all day long, actually. Yeah, now that I got that out of my system, I just want to bring up, I received an article here from one of my followers, KJ. I appreciate it, KJ. Thank you very much. It was a very interesting little story here, and it's about something that happened in 1966 in Pennsylvania. Now on the previous podcast, I was talking about how, I was talking about, it seems like how some of these beings that are seen sometimes, it seems like they're using some sort of technology, some sort of cloaking technology, something that makes them look blurry or invisible or semi-invisible, transparent. Well, there was a pretty decent story here that I found from this was actually, it was published in the Lincoln Star from Lincoln, Nebraska back in 1966, but it was something that happened in Erie, Pennsylvania back in 1966. And here was the story here. Saucer creature mystery heightened. An Air Force officer who investigated reports of a flying saucer and a creature from outer space sighted near here added to the mystery Thursday by referring all queries to the Secretary of the Air Force. All findings resulting from the search must be released by the Secretary of the Air Force, Major William S. Hall of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Dayton, Ohio, told newsmen. Betty Jean Clem, 16, of Jamestown, New York, said she and 3 companions were sitting in their disabled car on the Presque Isle Peninsula Sunday when they saw what first appeared to be a star moving in the sky. You could see it come down, she said. It was metallic, sort of silvery. It landed between 2 trees. Police Chief Dan Descanio, who interviewed Betty Jean, said she appeared to be a pretty sensible young woman. I'm convinced these young people saw something, he said. With Betty Jean were Douglas Tibbetts, 18, of Greensburg, New York, Miss Anita Hazley, 22, and Gerald LaBelle, 26, both of Jamestown. Cube-shaped. Tibbetts said the object appeared to be cube-shaped, whitish or metallic in color. He said that where the object landed, a series of lights were turned on. Miss Clem was near shock and was incoherent when she began describing the object. She said she and Mrs. Hazley and the latter's 2 children were sitting in the car while Tibbetts went with police to investigate the area. She said a formless creature appeared from the bushes and stood within 5 feet of the automobile. She said the creature was about 6 feet tall, had a head and shoulders, but she saw no legs. Miss Clem began blowing the horn, summoning police and Tibbetts, who found her near shock. Asked if the flying craft made any noise, she replied, "It sounded like the noise in a telephone receiver, only louder, of course." So I thought that was an interesting story, and also KJ pointed out that this was something that was investigated by Project Blue Book back in the day, and they determined that it was unknown. But I thought it was interesting that they were able to see the creature, but they couldn't see legs. There was no legs on the thing, it looked like. And there were some other interesting aspects to it too, as cube shaped. If you hear that sometimes, there's some famous cases like that where an object looks like a clear kind of cube. That's something that's happened before. And also the sound, it sounded like the noise in it, it made it sound like a telephone receiver. Of course, that'd be like a landline telephone when you pick it up and you hear that sound, except louder. I just thought it was an interesting little tidbit to talk about. Why not? Right? Why not? Anyway, I want to say thank you. In my previous podcast, I had called out. I asked people on Spotify to make if they have a chance to give me a positive rating, and that so there was quite a few people who responded, and I want to say I appreciate that. And my rating went up a couple of notches so far, and I really appreciate that very much. And I do appreciate all the people who send me who comment on Spotify, who comment on YouTube, and people who send me emails. I've received a lot of emails from different people all the time. I try to respond to them as fast as I could. And I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the people that are who like my show and comment and and give me ratings, give me nice reviews. That's good to see. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Until next time.